All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Hubbardston Select Board at 6:32, Monday night, December 22nd, 2025. We will be moving into, we are in open session, time, and we're going to go directly into executive session, and we will come back out into our open session and have our regular meeting after that. With that in mind, I'll read the reason, and then we'll take a motion if we could, please. Pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Paragraph 21A2, the Select Board will conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel and to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel, town administrator.
So moved.
Motion made.
Second.
And second. It's a roll call vote. Peter?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jeff? Yes, we are now in executive session. We have communications, announcements, etc.
Yes, I actually have a couple. I have two. Woo-hoo. All right, so Wednesday, that would be the 24th, this Wednesday, right before Christmas, there is a story time at 10 a.m. at the library. They'll also be decorating some cookies and crafts. So if you have a little one and you're looking for something to do this Wednesday, feel free to head up to the library at 10 a.m. where there's Wednesday story times. And then the other thing that I have is the Lions are having a meat raffle on Friday, January 9th. So it's actually the second Friday. Usually yours is the first Friday, isn't it?
Usually, but
Yeah,
not this time.
not this time. So this time it's the second Friday, so don't get screwed up. It's going to be January 9th at 7 p.m. at the Rod and Gun, and that's, again, the Lions meat raffle. And that's all I got for right now.
Okay.
How did the light fight go?
It ends today for
Oh,
the actual
so you don't know
voting. So
You have a lot of participants?
we had, what was it, 16 on the list, I believe. Last I checked, there was like almost 500 people voted. So
Wow,
yeah,
good,
so it's
great.
yeah, I get more response than a questionnaire from the town.
So next year, we just add questions
Yeah,
at everyone's site,
I-
and you just QR code and...
Well, I can add questions whatever I like at the end. I just don't want to add too many because then people don't want to do it. But I will add little fun questions if we want to add little fun questions.
All right, any other announcements or any for your board members, because you've been working in various capacities the last couple of weeks. Does anyone have any reports that you could offer to the board at this
I
point?
actually have a question concerning what I'm doing with Central Mass Emergency Communications Center,
Okay,
where I've taken over the spot that was previously.
he was chairman, right?
Yeah. Do you want me to keep doing this, or do I need an official letter to be placed on that board, or is that something I should ask them?
Well, no, you're still on it. You're our representative.
Yes.
So,
So I don't know
That
if
will
there's any,
continue.
is there any formality I need to?
not that I'm aware of, because
All
you
right.
were already been, the formality was when we appointed you.
Okay. Well, I didn't get appointed.
And we definitely
Would
need
you like to be
representation.
formally appointed, Peter, so that we're good to go?
I would.
Mr. Chairman, would you accept
Okay.
a motion?
Yes, I will.
I'd like to make a motion that we formally appoint Peter Walker as the Town of Hubbardston's representative on CMRCC
Board of Directors.
Board of Directors.
Second.
Motion made, second. Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion
you.
passed. Okay,
Very good. I'll let them know.
thank you. No, we need to keep the
Yes,
representation there
please.
because
Thank
That's
you.
important.
they've been good to us over the last
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah.
All right, anything else from anyone else on what you're working on?
Chris, did you
Interviews or
wanna,
this or that can be brought forth at this
That
point.
we're going to be
Yeah.
talking about that.
Chris may have an update,
Okay, Chris?
talking with Francois.
Oh, yeah, I got that
Do you want to
too.
give us a quick update?
Well, there really isn't any update to give. I mean, it's the electricity aggregation situation that we're working on, which tries to get better electrical rates from providers, as a group, right? It's like a volume discount, so to speak. If everybody in the town signs up for this aggregate, then we may be able to get better rates for each individual citizen. So we're working with a, like a consultant, to do the nuts and bolts of the work. And if he comes up with a situation where we can find a better provider, a more cost-efficient provider, then we'll jump on that. And of course, anybody in town would have the opportunity to opt out of the congregate and stick with the provider they currently have. But it's like a spot market, right? It's very quick, and when the offer comes across, you got to jump on it, yes or no, pretty quickly. So I guess I've been appointed the select board member to work with Francois to make that decision when the consultant reaches out to us.
Now, Francois reached out to me, I don't know if anybody else saw it today. They're going to have some kind of a Zoom meeting
Right.
in January, and they wanted someone from the board. Will that just be you, since
That would be-
since you're handling that, so you would be taking care of that, right?
Is that or AT&T?
No, this was Francois's project.
No, but Francois has two projects.
Right.
He also has AT&T Tower, and one came through.
Oh, okay.
This is AT&T,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Okay, all right. All right.
That's a different one? Ugh. So-
Yes, this is a different Francois project. Francois is a
He's
very
saying-
active resident.
He sent out a note just to me and the consultant as an introductory note, so that we can all be on the same page when we do make a decision on this electricity aggregation. But he didn't reach out to me on the AT&T thing. So it's coming up. The only hiccup is, the companies that provide the power, they want you to sign up for a minimum of 1 year contracts. So I said that we'd like to see if we could get a 6-month contract to see how it works out and see how much this cost fluctuates over the course of 6 months, but I'm not sure that's gonna be forthcoming. Because it's like the futures market, right? They gotta predict how much the electricity is gonna be, then they give us the best rate they think they can do it, and somebody will win and somebody will lose over the course of a year.
But they don't want to go
The
too
price
far
of-
out in their
exactly.
prediction, right?
So-
Yeah,
And we don't want to get locked in too far out
Yeah.
if the market shifts in our favor.
yeah.
So I have a question, Chris, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what is it?
So you said there's an opt-out option, right? But
Yes.
you bound, you have to give them a year if you sign up, you have to give them a year, you can't opt out. I mean, or
If
can
the
you opt
town
out?
decides to sign up for the program,
Yeah,
then the minimum offer length of contract right now is 1 year.
so you have to do a year.
You do not have to do a year. The town has to do a year.
Oh.
Individual residents can opt out immediately if they don't like the new cost, or if they don't like the provider, or for whatever reason, if they want to pay more for their electricity. It doesn't matter.
If they don't opt out, are they stuck for that 1 year?
What do you mean? Yes, they are
Okay.
stuck for the length of the contract. And
Okay.
it's not guaranteed going to be a year. They offer 1 year, 18 months, and 2 years. And we're trying to see if we can get them to offer us a 6-month contract, but I'm not sure
But
that's
you're
going to be
not holding your
forthcoming.
breath on that, right? Yeah.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Well, we all know that electricity is cheap when you're only paying for electricity, because if you look at your electric bill, the line charge of getting the electricity to your house is the majority of your bill,
Right.
plus all the EV stuff and stuff like that. So this program is only for what you're paying for the electricity, not getting it to your home.
No, it's for the supplier.
It's for the whole, it's for the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Now, of course, they're gonna use the same lines, but the way I understand it, nobody technically owns those lines. People have put the lines up, but any provider can send electricity through those
Okay.
lines to your
All
home.
right.
But it's not just the supplier?
What do you mean?
The aggregation
So,
costs.
yeah, so I have this in Gardner, and this could be totally different than what you guys are doing, and I also have a lock-in rate, but it's just, in Gardner and here, it's just for the supplier, not the actual, you're still paying National Grid, you're still paying National Grid rate. It's
Right,
locking in.
right. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
okay.
invisible to you.
Okay,
It's gonna be invisible to you. You're gonna
Okay.
pay the same bills, they're gonna come from the same
Yeah.
people. But the electricity is going to be coming from a different source.
Yeah, it's the supplier itself.
Okay.
So they're gonna use
Yeah.
National Grid power lines.
still
they're
have
gonna
all
use
those other
National
You
stuff.
still
Grid
have
bills.
everything
It's
else,
just
yeah.
what you pay per kilowatt.
Right.
Yes.
Cheap,
Yeah.
is hopefully cheaper, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry,
Okay.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
All
Got it, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right. Anyone here for open session? Okay. We have no public hearings, so that's, skip that. Consent agenda, we have no minutes. But we do have an appointment, Katrina McCreary, Cable Advisory Committee for a term ending 6/30/2026. That's the only item that would be on the consent agenda. Is there any hold or questions on that? Could we have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Thank you. Old business. Do you have anything?
I only have new stuff.
We don't want any more new
I don't
stuff.
want any more old stuff, just new stuff, please.
So nothing under old business. Okay, so we go right to the new business. Town administrator, going to discuss appoint temporary town administrator. We'll open it up for discussion. Heather, you want to?
Sure, so we have a full section here in town administration. I think it's probably important to start out with, the board was successfully able to negotiate an amendment to the employment contract with the current town administrator, Nathan Boudreau, and the end of the contract now becomes Friday, December 26th. So I think that's the first thing to start with. And then we jump into a couple of different pieces. So now we're at the point where we need to have someone temporarily in charge. And then we need to start thinking about whether we extend it out a little bit longer or we want to actually post for an interim town administrator. So what I mean by an interim town administrator is someone who's duly qualified to be a town administrator. And oftentimes there's someone who's either worked as a town administrator.
retired, and-
Yeah,
yep.
not necessarily retired.
Yeah.
Some people do, you know, short term.
Yeah.
But a town administrator who's been out there for a while, where they come in, they don't often work 40 hours a week. It's usually much shorter, but they try to help, you know, resolve any outstanding issues, help guide the board on what they need to do, make sure nothing falls through the cracks and keeps things moving. So that's the second piece of this. And then the third piece is going back to say, okay, well, do we want to think about right now posting the search committee charge to get going for the permanent placement of a town administrator? So we have three things all at the same time to make sure that, you know, at least in my mind, we're not missing any steps, right? We have someone who can act immediately should something come up between now and being able to get an interim in the door. And then even before the interim's in the door, we have hopefully, you know, 2 weeks to start recruiting people for the search committee. And then we can move forward with that. In my experience, a lot of interims, they're happy to do the work and they enjoy it, but they don't want to do it for more than 3 to 6 months. They like shorter stints. So being able to have these pieces in play also signifies to any potential person out there as an interim that we know what we want, we know what we're doing, and we're moving forward. So that's why I have all three. So I'd actually like to come back to the temporary one first if I can and go to the other two. Is that okay, Jeff, if I take things out of order?
Yeah.
And then I have to figure out how to do my minutes on them later, right? Okay. So posting for the interim town administrator. So I did give everyone a brief little blurb. It's that next page. It's the really short one. So it just says the town of Hubbardston is seeking qualified applicants for the position of interim town administrator to provide administrative leadership during a transitional period. Temporary appointment is expected to last 3 to 6 months with an anticipated start date as soon as January 2nd, because who wants to work the 1st? And an estimated workload of approximately 20 hours per week. Compensation is negotiable and applicants should include their requested rate of pay in their cover letter. Applications consisting of a cover letter and resume must be emailed to J. Williams, that's you, by 12 noon on December 29th. Applicants are expected to be reviewed by the select board at its December 29th meeting at 6:30 p.m. The town of Hubbardston is an equal opportunity employer.
Okay.
So my thought was, if the board's okay with it, this is a super quick posting, but we've already had some people signify they were potentially interested in it. We can reach out to some of the local folks that we we know who have done the interim work in the nearby areas that have had, you know, good reviews afterwards and so forth. See if they would be interested and see what we can get. But this gives us, you know, a quick turnaround. So next week at our meeting, we could potentially, depending on how many people are there, we could either interview them or at least review their materials and see what we want to do. Because that gets us to the point where we're moving very, you know, very quickly. But I think, you know, people who are generally interested in the interim role, they're either interested or not. Like,
Yeah.
they don't need a week or 2 weeks like a normal position to think about it.
Yeah.
They just either want to do it or not. They have the brief details here, and we can get that out there. We can get this, if approved, and everyone wants to do this, we can get this on the website probably tomorrow, because the rest of the staff's off starting on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they're not working, so we'd have to get them tomorrow. We can get it on the Mass Municipal Managers, or Mass Municipal Association piece, and we can also, you know, reach out to a few folks who've already been in contact to make sure they have the information as well. And then this keeps us from any technological hurdles that we're currently experiencing by sending the applications directly to Jeff.
Yeah,
So, what do you guys think about that?
I like it.
Okay? KP?
Sounds like a fine plan.
Okay.
Now I have a question in terms of the other aspect of it, the temporary. Okay? And I'm just throwing this out because we have a new treasurer.
We do? Sorry. Sorry,
She's
a little punchy
She's
tonight.
official, right?
Yes, she started today, and I think she's coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I know she has a tremendous amount of experience. When Ryan left, we were facing the same kind of a situation. And at that time, the way we solved it, Sandy Nason, who was the treasurer, she became the temporary town administrator along with myself. For the signature, I would go in for payrolls, et cetera, and this and that. And that's how we held that until we got an interim. So I don't know if this is a choice that we have, since the treasurer, although she has a ton of experience, the treasurer is new. But to me, that worked when Ryan left, and it was a temporary type thing, and I think it was David at that point that came in. So I would throw that out as a possibility. I mean, I would be willing to do that part of it again. Is this something we could ask of the new treasurer?
Can I ask clarification? So are you talking about the temporary, you talking about interim?
I'm talking temporary,
Okay.
while we're
so-
trying to get an interim.
So I think, I guess right in my mind, if we're able to get everything posted tomorrow, and because we've already had people interested in reaching out, and I think we can reach out as well, I think there's a good chance we could actually have an interim on the books for early January, which means that the temporary person is only holding down the fort for like 14 days. So I don't think it's a very long period of time. I don't think it would be fair to ask the treasurer collector who started today and currently still can't get access to email,
Right.
to be responsible for checking the town
Well,
administrator email and
Then
even knowing where to
then
send
where do we
people.
go then for those 14 days?
So I like,
Do I have to, because do you have a payroll coming up, et cetera? You're gonna need signatures, that's gonna have to be me, right?
so we're gonna need things. If we have the temporary person, I think the temporary can handle, you know, the emergency stuff. Katie?
Yeah, well, we were gonna discuss that after we figured out 2 and 3, that's number 1. So now we're kind of hopping around. I'm not saying that you shouldn't yet be concerned about number 1, but right now we're on number 2, and then we would be talking about number 3, and that's what Heather said, go back to 1. So if we start muddling all this, then we just go down a whole bunch of rabbit holes. And granted, I understand the rabbit hole you're going down,
Yeah.
you know, but.
And I understand what you're saying, Heather. I know we're trying to do this as fast as we can, but it is over the holidays, and I'm just looking at December 29th as being the deadline for these things. That's Monday. Everybody stops working as of Wednesday. Mondays when they come back to work. To think maybe it'll work, but to think that you're gonna have someone in place, et cetera, I think is,
Well, that would be when we'd interview somebody,
Right.
and then we'd still have
They wouldn't
to,
be in place till
if we could
January.
get them to interview, and then we'd have to negotiate and everything
but in the
else.
meantime, we have to cover.
I get that, I would not want to put somebody that just started today.
No, I was
In
just
a
simply
temporary.
saying how we handled it when we had
Oh,
Ryan.
I get that,
We had a treasurer, and
Yeah.
that's how it worked. She and I worked together.
yes.
So,
I,
because unfortunately, we don't have,
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying, but Sandy was here for a long time, so she knew
Yeah.
everything. Liz, like, just met half the people, you know, today.
Just didn't know firsthand yet.
She doesn't, yeah, I would not suggest that, in fact, that would be a setup to fail kind of thing. You know, not that she couldn't handle it, and not that she wouldn't want to handle it, I just wouldn't want to inflict that on a brand-new employee. I think that's a bad idea, because she's brand new.
What about Mel?
Well, again.
So I think
Yeah,
Katie's
it's-
hoping we go back to the interim, wrap this one up, go to the
Yeah,
next one, and
that
then
sounds
circle
good.
back.
Okay,
how can we wrap up the interim?
because this is
Because we
just
could.
posting for interim.
We can,
Yeah,
we
okay,
could
we're
make,
posting,
is
right.
that okay? Are you ready for, I
Oh.
guess I'm asking if you'd be ready
Yeah,
for
no,
motion
I'm
for that?
but I'm just
Okay.
simply saying, I don't think it's gonna happen that quickly.
It may not.
And in the meantime,
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to post the draft here, unless there's any changes, for a interim town administrator.
So moved.
motion made and second.
Second?
Any questions or discussion on this?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion to post for the interim town administrator is passed. Okay?
Okay, so now the last P, number 3, and then we'll circle back to number 1, which is your favorite, Jeff.
Jeff's on it.
Post-search committee charge and volunteer opening. So I did a draft. I tried to use smart computers on this one, so we'll see what it came out as. So town administrator search committee is hereby established by the select board for the purpose of recruiting, screening, recommending qualified candidates for the position town administrator for the town of Hubbardston. Purpose and duties, the committee shall be responsible for the following duties: develop and finalize job posting and recruitment strategy for the town administrator position, advertise the position and solicit applications, receive, review, evaluate all applications submitted by the deadline, conduct interviews of selected candidates as determined by the committee, verify references and qualifications as appropriate, present a list of recommended finalist candidates along with relevant feedback to the select board for consideration. Applications due, I put out here January 13th, so it gives people at least 14 days. Committee recommendations to be reviewed by the select board at the January 19th meeting. Authority, the committee serves in advisory capacity only. Final selection, appointment, contract, negotiation, compensation, termination remains solely with the board. Public meetings and records, and what have you. The only thing it does not say is the number of people on the search committee or any criteria for those.
Well, I thought you had mentioned in an earlier meeting in regards to when we start looking for a town administrator, we were gonna look for I can't remember the name
A
of the
search
company
firm?
that helped us
We used
before.
MRI.
Because I think that was the way we should go.
That's
But we
10
still had a
grand.
search, we still had a.
Oh, no, you had the committee of the town, but I'm talking about,
We got that kind of money floating around?
well,
So
I don't think we have a choice. I don't think we have a choice if we just think it's just gonna be the people who'll be on the committee and that's it.
No.
You need someone to be, who are professionals. I mean, the guy not only brought in the people, he gives you the questions, et cetera, the things that's what they do for a living.
So I think my recommendation would be, if we're gonna have a search committee regardless, because it takes at least 14 days to get applications in, and if everyone's okay with it, I think we approve a charge, approve what the composition of the committee looks like or what we're looking for those seats, and we post it, and then Jeff, we have 14 days to figure out where we go from there.
Okay.
Or at least 2 weeks to figure it out. But this at least gets us moving forward, right? So if like I'm an interim looking in, I'm like going, okay, I'm probably not gonna be here for 2 years. That's great. Sign me up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do we?
And you say people have already shown interest?
We had one person that submitted someone else's name who's retired, but usually, you can post these out there pretty quick, and if people usually take the holidays off when they can, so they're in between the interim gigs. They also don't like to work the summer. So January is a decent time to grab folks. Plus, it usually circles around the Mass Municipal Association annual meeting, which people tend to like to go to. So to be able to associate with the town and be able to go generally brings more happiness.
How many did we have in the last search committee? Do you remember? I remember.
Was it 3?
No, it
No,
was
we had
7
more.
or 9.
Oh,
It
We had
was
more
big.
than that, huh?
It was big, it was 7 or
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
Did we use a search committee when we found Ryan?
I thought you did, so the time
That was
before that, I
before
was on the
I was on the
application. I applied the first round
Yes,
when
yes,
it
we
was,
did.
what
Yes,
was
we
it,
did,
Renee?
Yes, we did, yeah.
Was it was a search committee, okay.
Yes.
I'm just curious if it was.
I
a
don't think
search-
you used a search firm, though.
Well, that's what I mean.
For Ryan.
That's what I meant, sorry, firm.
It was, you used search committee every time, but I don't
But
think it was
not-
a firm.
That's what I'm
Not a
asking.
firm.
I think
Not a
last
firm.
time was the first time we
We
used
used
a
a
firm.
firm,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
So what do we think? Do we want to come up with a composition? Do we want to wait another week and put this on the 29th agenda to do? Or do we think we should get it going now?
I think we should get it going now.
Yep.
So that way people have time to look at it over the holidays. They may be around, they may not.
People get bored during the holidays, they're on their phone looking around. Hey, oh, that's my name.
so should we come up with a number then? Was it 5,
Spend
7
some time
people?
watching.
I think we usually did a decent number.
We had
Usually it's
7
like
the last
7
time.
or 9,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I would say at least 7.
Or we could do, one of the approaches we used on one of the last committees we formed, which was, we said at least X,
Yeah, at least 7.
so that we have the ability, if there's a zillion people that want to be on it,
We
that
can add
always
more.
extend it.
Yeah.
Do we want people from any particular background? Do we want a number of residents versus employees versus,
Well, we get quite a diverse group in that group of 7.
Yeah.
and do we want any of us on it, or do we want to stay neutral? I think last time we stayed off it.
Yeah, we stayed off it.
Yeah.
We weren't on it.
Yeah.
We,
No, they presented it to us, so yeah.
yeah. I would recommend at least 1 or 2 of them be town employees.
Okay, so 2
You know
town
what I mean?
employees.
I think you need some finance committee people.
Well,
too.
either finance or,
Capital improvement.
well, no, I was gonna say either finance or like the treasurer collector or the accountant, like you need someone with a finance background and understanding
Mhm.
our finances.
Yep.
So finance, town finance, we'll
Yeah.
say, okay?
So we got town employees, finance background, how many people is that? 2, 4? Are we talking about?
That's 2 to 3.
2
Yeah,
to 3? And we still want 4 more people, so
Yeah,
We
so
need
you're
a
gonna have
few
some general
residents.
residents.
Yeah.
And then what about committees? And do you want any business people on it?
Like, you mean like businesses from town?
Mm-hmm.
Would they be
Like
able
town-owned
to
business.
sit on it?
Well, didn't we also
Say-
have, wasn't Ryan on there?
What?
The police chief.
I can't remember
I
who
think,
was
I
on
believe,
that.
I think he was on the search committee or else.
I wanna say Travis was on the last one.
I know Tony was, I know Mel Shaughnessy was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, she was.
Yeah.
No.
No, can't remember. That was too long ago.
All right, so we have
Yeah.
2 town employees, we have a finance person. Do we
Too
want
many.
people from any other specific committee?
The finance would be, yeah.
Do we
either
want
that or-
anyone from planning based on what we got going on there?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea,
Okay.
if possible. I don't want to heavy load it with all town
Right.
employees, though. I want to make sure there's a few residents at large.
So
Just in case.
so at least 2 employees, 1 finance person, either FinCom or one of the members in the offices.
Mhm.
Planning, so that's 2, 3, 4, and then at least 3 residents.
Yeah, of some sort. And they could be board members of a different board. I'm
But
not.
they're holding the residency, they
Yeah,
don't have to
I'm
get
not
on.
against it. I would like it open to some residents just in case people want to step up.
Granted, with the way things are in this town, we know that unfortunately it's the same people all the time.
I know,
Who
but
come forth
we
and
can,
do it, you know.
we can hope.
This is
Yeah.
a small group.
Yep. Yep.
But those aren't necessarily the wrong people either, because
No.
they're the ones that are tapped into what the hell's going
No,
on.
I thought
so.
they did a good job last time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's, you know, we can only sort through applications that are presented.
Do you want to review this again for the 7 people that were?
Yeah, so we have
I'm
at least
assuming-
7 people, 2
I'm
town,
assuming 7 is what we're kind of agreeing on now?
at least 7, I
Chris,
think
you
is
have
what we did
any
before.
feeling on that, one way or the other?
7 is fine.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm fine with
okay,
that.
so let's deal with 7.
So 2 town employees, 1 finance person, either FinCom or TC, treasurer collector or accountants.
Yeah.
Let's
One
see, 1 planning and 3 residents. Does that work for everyone? Is
Yeah.
everyone good with the document otherwise as written?
Yep.
I'm fine with it.
And what's the charge of this committee? What are they gonna do?
The one I just read.
Okay.
So they're gonna go through the applications, obviously.
So
They're
the
gonna
only-
review the applications, are they gonna filter the applications and bring, will they
Yeah, so,
select to us, or are they all gonna be brought to us?
no, so they would develop and finalize a job posting and recruitment strategy. So we could also charge them in that recruitment strategy to tell us whether we should go out for another search firm. Or if they think they can, you also don't know what the composition of the committee could be.
Right.
Sure.
Advertise the position and solicit applications, receive, review, evaluate all applications submitted by the deadline, conduct interviews of selected candidates as determined by the committee, verify references and qualifications as appropriate, present a list of recommended finalist candidates along with relevant feedback to the select board for consideration.
Okay.
So we're gonna get the cream of the crop.
So we have that in the form of a motion.
So moved.
Second.
The cream of the crop?
Yeah, the cream of the crop. That's what I want.
So to approve,
Yeah, the motion to approve the.
Town Administrative Search Committee as presented with
Yes.
the change of the composition?
Composition is presented, yes.
Correct.
Okay. Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. That brings us back to number 1.
Okay, hold on. By Katie, second by Peter.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember my name today.
Hey.
And
good for
usually,
you.
you know what, I was checking out the minutes from the other day that I drafted, you were Jeff, sorry.
Oh.
Jeff never seconds a motion, so when I write Jeff, I know I meant Peter.
I'm getting there, but I'll never catch up to him, I'll tell you that.
Okay, all right, so those 2 pieces are done, now we're back, what'd you say, Jeff, to the temporary town administrator. So what do we want to do here? So what do we even see as the responsibilities of the temporary town administrator? Because this is something Jeff brought up. So,
Oh, go ahead.
nope, go for
Well,
it, Katie.
basically, what I would think would be the temporary town administrator is you're just kind of keeping the ship afloat. They're not doing the stuff that we actually, like the budgeting and that kind of stuff. You're making sure any fires are put out. You're making sure that.
Figurative fires, you're
Yes,
not actually going on the
figurative.
truck.
Yes, figurative. You're making sure the bills all are paid, that
Yeah.
if Jeff needs to be aware of something, or the select board in general needs to be aware of something. Working with all the different boards and committees, just to make sure that if there's pieces and parts floating around, maybe getting stuff ready for budget season, following up on that for capital improvement, to start getting these boards and committees up and running, but getting everything to them so they can, when, like it actually goes to start, it can. I mean, they wouldn't be doing the budget.
Okay.
It's literally just keeping it afloat until we can have a temporary,
Or an interim.
the interim that actually has real, not that people don't have real knowledge of what's going on, but actual practice knowledge, let's put it that way. That would be my 2 cents. If someone else has 2 cents about that, feel free to throw it in. They're not making any more pennies right now, but you can throw in your 2 cents.
Well, I'm not changing any of this, it's just, again, I'm assuming it's me because I'm in the position I'm in. You need someone who has authorized a signature, because I don't know who we would end up being the temporary, but being the chief executive of the board, that without a town administrator, I'm the only one who has that authority.
Okay.
So that would have to at least, whoever it is would have to at
To be
least
with you,
be able to
with you,
call
yes.
me and say, I need you to come
Yeah.
and sign this or do that, because, so,
Which that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, they would obviously have to call you
But do-
regardless.
So my question is, do we have anybody in mind? Because we're kind of short,
Yeah.
so.
We're short on everybody right now. I don't even,
Well, I mean,
silent across
I mean, that's
the
the
board.
situation we find ourselves in, no disrespect. But I mean, there's you and Mel, you know, and.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
and-
everybody's gonna be
and
leaving.
Sadie, I guess, hasn't come back yet.
no, she's
No,
No,
not.
she was back today.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she
Okay.
was back today.
But that's it,
So,
I know.
so,
Can,
maybe
I know.
the two of them handle it, maybe?
I have no,
Well, because
I
how
can't
long do we,
speak for.
how long do we realistically think this is gonna go? Worst case scenario?
So-
Worst case scenario.
So 3 weeks, maybe, worse.
So we're
But
looking,
you also have to remember, so we're in the middle of holidays,
Yeah.
right? Which is good and bad, complete, because there's two possible things. Number one, the good news is it's usually dead during the holidays, right? Nothing's happening. I mean, the entire town hall staff is gone from Wednesday to Friday, and then repeat the following week. So town hall is only on Monday and Tuesday, the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, 4 days out of
That
2
being
weeks.
case,
That's a good
the
deal.
case, you don't know if something crazy happens in between, right?
Sure.
And we're essentially asking someone to handle the responsibilities of emergency needs, so theoretically, they can do it before we have to get involved. Because right now, what's happening is because we don't have a temporary, we're all actively engaged
Temporary.
all
In-
day long with
doing
some kind
everything.
of, whatever it is, just because that's,
So
we
what
don't
are
have anyone else to
what
do
are our
it.
options for a temporary town administrator? Who are our options?
So we could theoretically, you can have anyone. You could have the chiefs, you could have the DPW director, you could have a part-time staff, you could have a full-time staff.
So has anybody shown any interest in it?
We've received one person who is interested in it out of everyone who submitted their piece back. Tricia is the only one who had any interest documented on paper.
Okay,
Really?
yeah,
So-
she's leaving soon, so.
why wouldn't
So
we let her do it?
we could let her do it.
We could,
We would have to, next week, we would have to
To
ask her
extend her.
to extend
Yeah.
her stay, because right now she's only staying till December 31st. And as fast as we could possibly go in the interim, I highly doubt we'll have someone on December 31st.
yeah.
The second thing is just keep, right now she doesn't work, she works, I think it's 26 hours a week. Is what she's
And then-
scheduled for,
yeah, and
but
then
she's
the
also
library.
been covering a lot more since we've had outages and,
She's been
Does that
putting out
include the
for-
library?
no.
No.
Okay, well, I guess that's all anecdotal. I mean, if we've got a need for a position and we've got only one person that is interested in the position, I suggest we reach out to said person
Okay.
and strike a deal for her to take the position of temporary town administrator. Am I wrong?
I mean, she's been doing a lot of the work for the last year anyways, right?
So this brings us into follow-up question.
We gotta be careful what, because
No,
we're
I
in a public
understand
meeting,
that.
so we-
Yeah,
Talking.
but this has to do with, it has to do with her position because we have to fill her position. What was our thoughts behind that? Because eventually, say we didn't choose her, okay?
Yeah.
Say there was somebody else, let's just, total scenario, somebody else, and we went with that person. Her time is up as of December 31st. So what is our thought process to do I know we have things to put out for their resumes for the executive assistant and that, but we haven't even started interviewing yet, let alone got somebody in the door. So there will be a lapse of time regardless, because there's no way between the holidays that we'd be able to get somebody in the door before she leaves regardless.
Oh, we've
So-
been really
In the
good
door,
though.
in the door for what?
To fill her
Executive
position.
assistant position.
So it's the whole fact of she's,
But she wants to walk away from that on the 31st anyways.
yeah, so, but, yeah, that's my question. If she wants to walk away the 31st, her being an interim,
we just leave us empty.
this is problematic, that date, either
Why?
way. Because we
Fine.
won't have a interim, I keep using the wrong words. I
Temporary.
apologize. Sorry, a temporary town
So-
administrator in before that.
So the other possibility is, right, because
Kind of think we're overthinking this.
we're up on the wire for before the holiday, right?
Yeah.
We can make a temporary appointment as long or short as we want.
Right.
What if we
Okay.
make a temporary
Just
appointment
the
until
31st?
Monday? No, until Monday the 29th when we have
Okay.
to meet again. And then we determine what we're doing at that point. Because if
Okay.
Tricia says, hey, I'd like to extend my, I'd like to stay until you find someone new,
Right.
then that will fill the gap piece. And if she says, no, I'm still leaving on the 31st, then we have to appoint someone else as temporary on Monday.
And if she completely needs to abandon the admin part of that job, I think the priority is town administrator, not town administrator admin.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep, no, okay, I hear you out on that one. If she's the only one that signed up, it's the holidays. And, oh, did you want to talk?
No,
Or-
I was-
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like, because a lot of times I have my back to you, so I can't always see what
That's
you're
all
doing,
right.
and I just saw hands flashing, I was like,
No,
what's
I was
going
just-
on back there?
I'm just playing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really have too many
Is
options
this
right
something we should
now.
go into executive session?
No, we're
I
not talking finances.
don't think we should. I think we should,
No, I think we just come up with, you
Yeah.
know, a reasonable amount that would be compensation probably per day.
because it's literally like a couple,
It's
unless
No, the
you,
reason I
additional
add-
duties.
No, the reason I suggested that is that we're bordering on talking about
yeah,
an
I know.
individual, and we
Yeah.
can't talk about the
We-
individual
But
in
that-
open session.
But that's not true. You can't talk about individual in open session. You can talk about the professional competence.
Yeah,
You
we're not-
can't talk
we
about,
can't detrimental talk about.
and you can't talk about their character
Yeah.
or, you know, there's certain provisions, but we're
which
talking
none
about.
of us have said anything detrimental
Yeah.
or anything negative. So yeah, so I think then maybe the 31st, well, the 29th.
But it's the 29th, 'cause that's when we
29th,
meet
yeah,
again.
because that would, yeah. And we just hope there's not too much that, because it's gonna be the holidays anyway, so it's not gonna overwhelm, you know what I mean, anyone, or be overwhelming for anyone else. We're down to a lot of holes, and we need to fill the holes.
All right, so right now it sounds like we have it potentially as Tricia to fill the temporary town administrator position until December 29th when we meet again. We'll have to
Yeah.
figure out, talk with her what she's doing with
Is
the
everybody
position and so
available for a
forth.
29th meeting?
It's on Monday.
Yeah,
I'm just putting
Are
it
you
out there.
available?
I'm available.
Peter?
I'm driving back from New Hampshire, but God only knows what can happen on a ride home. So I'm planning on being.
We've been having weekly meetings. for
Yeah,
the last-
I know, I'm just making sure.
Are you available on
Putting it out
Tuesday?
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I should be.
None of us have enough lives.
Okay.
I should be back.
Okay,
That's
so
not true. We're putting our lives on hold to help run the business of the town.
Yeah.
is there anything else I could do a couple days before Christmas with small children right now to be here? Okay, I was just checking.
Nothing going on. It's
There's
fine.
nothing at all. All right, so the 29th, we're all set for that, to do the appointment to then. So let's just clarify a couple things, what the responsibilities are. Katie mentioned a couple things. Keeping the ship afloat, not, you know, not responsible for doing the budget piece, but make sure the figurative fires are put out, bills are paid, people who need to be aware of things are. Just help people with whatever they need. What do we want to do about the town administrator email? Because as of the last board meeting, I have been manning that inbox. It has been a wonderful, entertaining
I had
time
it
of my
before
day.
you. I had it before you.
So the question becomes whether the board wants me to continue to man that inbox, or if we want to, with the temporary town administrator piece, hand that inbox over to Tricia, or if we want me just to keep an eye on it and have Tricia operate it day to day, but I'm there to just,
Help keep an
we're still
eye.
seeing what's coming in.
I would like someone to still see what's coming in, not that I don't have faith in her, it's just a second set of eyes at this point in time,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff kind of in the.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that's a lot for any one person, so if there's two
So-
keeping an eye on everything, then I feel much more
Okay, so we can
confident.
we can have CM Geeks just give her access to the inbox as well, and then we can have her be the primary person to respond.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, she can, she can respond to the topics that, you know, we'd like her to handle, and then if it's something a little more intricate that you're more familiar with, you can respond.
It's so kind of you. Katie.
So,
Just want to keep my skills fresh.
so then I'm not gonna be involved, correct?
No,
With
until we say, hey Jeff, this is your problem.
Okay.
Smiley face.
No, I'm saying, as far as, they won't contact me for signatures. So who's gonna have the power of the
So-
signature?
So where are we with signatures now? So how often are people contacting you for signatures?
Well, she's supposed to leave something for me to sign tonight.
Is it in that purple folder by chance?
No, this is my folder, I
Oh,
brought it.
okay. Tricia said it's on the table in your spot. Are you sitting on it?
Nope,
Okay.
Did you put something down on it?
nope, nope.
Okay.
I don't worry that. No, that's, no,
Okay, sorry.
nope, because this is all my stuff.
Okay, well, we will locate it before we go.
We'll find
But
it.
do we want to authorize her to sign anything at this point, or do we want to just keep Jeff as a signatory?
I think
and-
Jeff should still be the
Okay.
signatory, because I don't want to change that, because if we change something on the 29th, then it's just extra. Are you
Alright.
fine, you're still fine
Yeah,
with that?
I'm fine, yeah.
Because that's the way they did it last time.
Yeah.
They,
That's fine.
they paired up.
So Jeff
Yep.
comes in to sign and assist as
Yep.
needed.
Yeah,
Okay, and then compensation, so she's gonna be doing work outside of grade, right?
Yeah,
And in all fairness, for the past couple months, she's probably already been doing most of this anyway.
yep.
So what do we wanna provide for compensation? Do we wanna add a dollar amount per hour? Do we wanna just add a flat rate stipend for the week? Do we wanna do a daily stipend
Well,
based on?
what is her schedule gonna look like that has changed, if anything's changed?
Well,
I don't think her
Work.
schedule's gonna
There were
change.
days she isn't coming in.
She only works 26 hours
Yeah.
a week.
Well, she usually works way more than that, but
Well,
she's
you don't-
only originally scheduled for 26 hours a week.
well,
I think the idea here would be to take on additional tasks. What are we compensating someone for their out of
Are we
grade work?
talking dollar amount?
Yeah.
Hourly?
Can we discuss hourly dollar amounts?
We could do hourly, or we could just
Just
say,
do a
you know,
flat
per
rate.
day, here's a flat additional compensation for every day that you're on, all the weekdays. So we don't usually, you know, we don't generally pay a TA even for the
can't just do a
weekend.
flat rate for the week.
You could.
Hourly flat? an
We could do a
hourly rate?
flat rate, but just keep in mind,
Not
we're doing
hourly,
weird
just
weeks
a
here,
flat.
because we're already on Monday and we're gonna
That's what I
land
mean.
on Monday. So
But
if
if
you do
she-
it per day.
If she gets a weird call from, like, say, the tenant,
Mm-hmm,
that the toilets are backing up again
mm-hmm.
on a
Christmas.
Saturday morning, yeah. That's why I say if we just do
Yeah.
the 2 flat weeks, a pay raise for a flat amount this week and
Yeah,
the same
stipend.
for that, yeah. That
Stipend
would,
for,
in my mind, that would make sense just in case she gets a call
okay.
to try to compensate for it. Don't ask me what dollar amount it should be. I have no idea. I don't know what's fair. But I think that would be the most, because at least it would help her if she, you know, for the inconvenience factor.
Well, she was salaried, right?
No,
No,
she's
hourly.
hourly.
So what was her hourly rate then?
2, 3.
23.38.
Yeah. I'd say $15 an hour.
Well, we're doing a flat
You said
Flat-
15?
for,
Flat rate.
yeah, for the whole week. Like, what would be, like a
So,
bump
so
just to,
26 hours, she's already at,
you're still on hourly. What would be a fair dollar amount to give her per week to just,
Per hour.
no, per week?
you gotta figure it out per
One-
hour.
Is the
one-
expectation that she works more hours, or is she gonna continue to work the same amount of hours?
Same.
She's gonna mostly continue to work the same amount of hours, but mind you, even though she's scheduled for 26, she's working well more than 26. The past 2 cycles, the last cycle, she worked the bi-weekly on about 79 hours. Right? And at the very beginning of the fiscal year, she was working 52 hours in a
So-
bi-weekly period, which is closer to that.
But she also was
26.
taking on stuff that she shouldn't have been taking on too. So-
I agree completely.
And so she shouldn't be doing that either, you know?
See, I'm a whole
I-
thing
I
of, you
don't
pay
know.
somebody to hold the keys. You know what I mean?
So you're
Like,
paying her a flat rate?
Yeah, how
for-
much does
Per
it-
week,
yes, so what is
For-
it worth?
for the days that she's here, right?
No,
Is this
Well,
guy-
no, because if she gets a call at 8
she
PM on
would still get
Friday,
paid
she's still
hourly.
gonna
She'd
deal with
get
it.
extra hours. So So I'm talking about
So
an
she's getting her
actual-
extra hours, already, she got her hourly rate, forget about that.
Yep.
So now we're only working on compensating for the flat rate.
Yeah, for just to be the person that's on call.
So how about for this first week, we say it's $250
I was
for the
gonna
week,
say that.
and that way it's essentially $50 per day, if you think of 5 calendar days and business days in the week. If she loves it, fantastic. If she thinks it's not quite enough and we move on and continue this for another week, we can do a better negotiation round 2.
Okay.
And if for some reason she says no, then we keep things the way they are, where we all do extra work.
We all do extra work. Great.
So, what would you say, 250?
$250
Okay.
stipend for the week. Is everyone okay with that? KP, are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Peter?
Yes.
Katie? Jeff?
With 250?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we name Patricia Lowe as the temporary town administrator effective immediately and continuing until our next select board meeting on December 29th with to be compensated the stipend of $250 from now until then.
Motion's made.
From now until then.
For the weekly stipend.
Week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, but the week being now till it ends on Monday.
Motion's made, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Yes, opposed? Motion passed.
I just need a second to catch up.
Okay.
Fries with that ketchup.
I think we all should have margaritas right now.
I'm in.
I think for an interesting board
29.
meeting.
You would?
It's margarita time, isn't it? No? Okay.
It has to be somewhere.
Somewhere is margarita time.
Next item, when you're ready, will be the tax bill update.
It's me again. You see the
Yes,
same?
it's when in doubt, you again.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, tax bill. Well, Leanne's here too, so if she wants to chime in, she's always welcome.
please do.
Yes.
All right, so taxes, so here's where we are. So we know we had the tax rate hearing at the beginning of the month, everything went fine there. We've stumbled into a couple glitches. The glitch essentially started with the forms called the DE1. So this is our debt exclusion form. We submit this every year. Every community is required to submit it. You're submitting it and saying what you currently have out there that is on the books is debt exclusions. So remember, we just did the 3 most recent debt exclusions. Those did not hit the form yet. Those don't get passed to the taxpayer yet. Those are the following year.
Next year, yeah.
Okay? For the past couple years, we've been submitting 1 debt exclusion on the DE1. The debt exclusion is for the school roof, right? That was like around 2018, 2019, something like that we voted. I was in town, I remember voting for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? So we had that school roof. And that is what we've always had in the DE1 form. We have a new assessor this year, and the assessor went to the state's website and said, hey, let me just see what I got out there for exclusions. Noticed that we had another exclusion for a fire truck that was in 2017 for about $250,000. For whatever reason, lots of turnover since then, but for whatever reason, that fire truck never made it to the debt exclusion 1 form. Which means that we never raise taxes to cover the cost of that every year. So we've been paying for it within the town's levy limit itself, right? So we never raised it. We essentially paid, think of it as out of free cash, essentially, right? So good news is, next year,
It's paid off.
nope, next year
It's
that
gone.
money will be raised on the DE1 and the debt exclusion, so taxes will be impacted, but we'll be a little less confined in our budget, so
We're
that'll
gonna
be
get
good.
whacked hard.
Meantime, here's where we're at. We've never had that on the DE1 form. Now that we've determined that it needs to go on the form, the state is requiring us to put it on the form, right? So we have to put it on the form. But now everything has to balance out.
Oh.
So the most recent guidance from the state was that we had to go back in and the DE1 form had to be amended so that that was there. And then on the tax recap portion on page 3 that the accountant fills out, they actually have to fill in where they're estimating our local receipts. So they have to increase certain things to be able to make up the difference. So the team has been working very hard on this all day, last week, everyone from, Leanne, Stephen the assessor, Mary, Sam, and even our new treasurer collector, Liz, and not to forget Sarah.
Yes.
They've been working on this since this morning. So Jared, who is our rep at DOR, had asked for everything to get into him today. So I think everything was submitted around 5:30 is when I heard from Mary that the last piece got submitted. So we're just waiting on confirmation from the state that they have it. So where we're at, right, we're super late for getting our bills ready. They don't have to get out and postmarked until December 31st, but it's December 22nd. We already planned on having a stuffing bills party.
Yeah, I'll
Right?
be there.
That's already on the book, so that's there. But here's the kicker: we can't stuff the bills until we get the approval
Yeah.
to do the tax rate to be able to do the bills. So we're waiting on that. Once that happens, we still have to do some financial cutovers with the software, which is a bridge and not fun.
Dave was supposed to do that this evening. I don't think he has yet though.
Okay.
What was that?
Dave from RG was supposed to do that this evening, but when I went and checked to him.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where we are with that piece. But I think it's really important for folks to know, right? Like, this is something that towns stress out at each year. Some communities, if they can't figure things out, they actually have to go back to town meeting, then they can't send the bills out on time, then they can't mandate they're paid. So this is something we want to be very mindful of. Again, I think it was an oversight a number of years ago and no one's caught it on the DE1 until we just happened to have Steve come
To
along.
be clear, this debt exclusion for the fire truck was approved and voted on at town meeting.
Yes, and at the ballot.
Just never recorded.
It was just never put on the proper form. And because of that, it was never accounted for in the right spots when we calculate our revenue
Yet we've been
projections.
paying it year over year out of our existing budget.
Do
Yes.
you have a balance on the note?
I don't know
It's
what's.
8 years in, so was it a 20-year note?
I don't know.
It was it. I would, yeah.
I don't think it's
That
that
was
long.
what they submitted this evening, but
So I can't tell you. I've seen so many numbers today, I can't tell you the specific number
So
from
what's
this
the
one.
process to raise
Shit, can't
the
be.
taxes?
So we don't have to do anything else for voting with the public. It will just
I understand
automatically
that,
next
but
year.
there's
get
gonna be a
calculated.
debt exclusion, which is gonna raise the
No.
taxes, no?
Yes.
Yes. but
It's going to
already-
raise the taxes, but this is something the voters voted on
I
back in
understand.
2017.
I understand, but it's,
They're gonna get a break because it wasn't raised the last several years and we can't go backwards.
Great.
Yeah, because they're not gonna have to pay it, because.
You only have to pay it going forward,
backwards.
we can't go back.
All right. So is it going on next year's?
It would go on next
Okay,
year,
so we're
yeah.
gonna get a double whammy then.
Well, no, we're gonna get we're gonna get
Well,
the three new
The new fire
ones.
truck and the school roofs are going on next year's.
Yeah,
And
but the school
tractors.
roof, the school roof is already there. It's gonna be those three things we just did. And then this one will roll over, but I think we're almost at the end of it, so it's not gonna last long.
Mhm.
So it'll be a very small one, but it should have gone on
Yeah, it's
several years ago. It just,
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Almost
But-
9.
Can't
But
even-
I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention so that you guys were all aware of it and the public's aware of what's happening. And if they see people frantic in town hall,
Yeah.
they can just say nice, assertive, calming things.
And that'll free up some free cash next year.
They're right, it will free up some money in the budget because it
Yeah,
won't
in
be,
the budget,
we won't be
right.
paying for the debt out of the regular budget, we'll be
Correct.
raising it on taxes.
You'll have tax money coming in to cover it.
Yes, yes. Okay.
so the $1 million question from your local taxpayer is, how have we been paying for this all along? Why are my taxes going up?
You should have had your taxes going
You
up.
should have, but you
Yeah.
didn't.
But you
yet
didn't,
we've
so
been
instead
paying the
of-
debt.
So think of it, instead of paying $50,000 for more roads, you were paying the debt that people said they were gonna pay out of their taxes.
Right.
And the tax rate went down, but the assessment value went up, and
Right.
that's why,
4.5%.
we got hit with more. But the tax rate went down, so,
Another
I
20K.
understand that. but-
yeah.
So, all right, everyone clear on that? Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, it's time to move out of Hubbardston.
Good luck. Go
Was that a
find
statement
better
or a
tax
question,
rate.
Peter? I get confused sometimes.
Statement.
Oh, okay.
We move on?
I'm good. Does anyone
Okay.
have anything else?
No.
Everyone's okay with that?
Yep.
Me and I
Alright.
represent that, okay? All right.
Finance staffing, discuss hire accounting consultant versus accounting firm.
Okay, so here's where we are in finance staffing. So last meeting, I asked the board for permission to reach out to some accounting firms and see if we can get some assistance.
Yep.
For those who may recall, we originally had contracted with a woman named Melissa from another community. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. She wasn't able to come in. The goal of her coming in was to actually go backwards in our books. 25 is still open for us, even though we're 6 months into 26.
Yeah.
We need to wrap it up, close our books, and also certify our free cash, or we're not gonna have anything really to play with for capital and other things. So we wanna get that taken care of. We also have some glitches because we've switched some accountants over time. Our numbers don't always mesh, right? So anything that was revolving fund money carried forward, the numbers don't necessarily make sense on the books. Because we've inserted some brand new technology the beginning of July, I think it was, give or take. Payroll seems to have got logged wonky in certain places, some bills were wonky. Yeah, it needs some assistance. So the idea is to look out and get some outside assistance, because if we don't fix the problem, it's only gonna continue to be a bigger mess.
gonna compound,
And
right.
we can't afford usually to have a full-time accountant year-round to be able to constantly monitor things. So with that being said, I think we take this opportunity to procure someone who's a professional in this area to be able to assist us. I sent out to the board the other day an email for a third option. So backing up for a second, when we talked about this last week, I also got the authority from the board to call Division of Local Services. So I talked to Zach Blake, who's the technical assistance head of DLS. I've worked with him for years. And I said, hey, here's what we're thinking. Are we missing anything? He said, no. I said, what about these firms? He said, not that. So I reached out to 2 different firms. They'd be more than happy to help us. One was Eric Kinship and one was Aponte and Aponte. Reached out to both of them. Neither of them would be cheap. One gave me a quote, the other one wanted to see more information to be able to do so. And then I happened to find out that one of the people who used to work for Division of Local Services just recently retired. Her name is Marcia Bohink. And that was the email I sent everybody with her proposal. So I had a little bit of conversation with Marcia. I've worked with her in the past in other communities as well. She was a former treasurer collector and accountant in communities before she went over to the Division of Local Services. And she provided us with a proposal, kind of a couple different phases, how she would attack the problem, you know, from going back to 25 to be able to figure out what's going on there, account for the differences, get the books closed, get free cash certified. Rolling balances into 26, digging into 26, seeing where things are, looking at our chart of accounts, which isn't necessarily correct, and going by standards and fixing those, and even helping us with our FY27 budget forecast and budget itself. So she provides a range of services. She's a professional, she's been doing this for a long time. Her price is not cheap, it's $100 an hour, right? But she believes she can work with, you know, the new treasurer collector in place, Mary, who was outgoing treasurer collector as well, to figure out what she needs to do to be able to clean everything up and put us on a good course. She would not be able to start till early January because she's on a 2-week cruise.
Of course.
How many hours are we talking a week?
So it's until she gets the job done. So the nice thing about her is that she's retired. So she has a limited amount of hours a year that she can work in the dollar figure essentially,
Yeah.
but not so much per week. So where we had someone before who maybe could only give us 5 hours a week to go backwards because they were doing a full-time job,
Yeah.
this is someone who can dedicate as much, you know, if she's rolling, she's gonna go.
So in other words, she can hopefully, in theory, clean us up real quick. In theory,
So.
right?
So,
Now, keep in mind, the other thing, and I did mention this to Jeff earlier, this weekend I did call Seth, who's the chair of the finance committee, because in lieu of, or ahead of tonight's meeting, I wanted to give him a heads up of, you know, the legwork I've done, where we are and everything else. And also keep in mind to remind him that we might come visit him for some reserve funds. Because no matter which way I do the math, we're gonna be needing some assistance. So right now it looks like in our accounting line, come January, approximately, and I say approximately because I don't have solid figures, and this is using best guess what you can tell from what we paid out for accounting so far, we'll have about $16,000, give or take, right? So even if you put the consultant at least around 10, give or take, that leaves about 6 left. And even hiring someone in for that, even if it was, you know, $35 an hour for 10 hours a week, you're still looking at, I think I did the math earlier, and it was close to like 12,000 additional. So you're still about 4,000, 4,000 to 6,000 shy in that line,
Yeah.
right? So that's one thing. So let me see where I'm going here. I'm gonna jump around, I do apologize. So that's as far as hiring an accounting consultant, right?
Yeah.
When you go to the accountant, to date, unless it's hanging out somewhere in the ether, we have not had any applicants for accountant. And I know you all find that shocking.
I know.
I've talked to other people in the finance world, and they kind of chuckled at me when I said I posted for an accountant. Because it's really, really hard to find right now, because municipal finance is a very competitive field, and there's not a lot of people who do it.
Yeah.
So we would need to see, one potential, and I don't know if she would still be interested or not, but might be looking to see if Mary would be willing to shift sides, right? So she was our treasurer collector, but she's currently working in Leicester as their accountant. She was already hoping to stay on with us for a little bit for the transition, but maybe she'd be willing to stay on with us as the accountant side. I did run that idea by Marcia, and she thought it was a good idea, if nothing else, for the fact that she has a really good handle of what the books currently are on the other side, and would be very helpful. So she would at least be able to help keep our payroll going, or bill pay going.
Yeah.
But we'd have to get something a little more formal from her, and hopefully I could reach out to her if the board's okay, see if that would work for her, and she'd be interested, and then bring it back to the board on the 29th. But otherwise, we'd have to go with an accounting firm, or we'd have to talk back to Marcia and see if she could do both things at the same time. But I think it would be better for her if she did cleanup
Yep.
and someone else moved forward. Once we get to the point, let's say the end of the fiscal year, and everything's nice and clean and tidy, and we know what's where and everything else, then I think it's the time to look at, do we hire another part-time accountant? Do we regionalize? What do we do? And I think once we're in that position, because the problem is, because we're so small and we're so part-time, we don't pay much, we're gonna get someone probably green, who can only do it very part-time.
Yep.
And we kind of need someone with experience and knows what's going on right now
Yeah.
to kind of clean things up. All right, so then,
So between the two, firm or Marcia?
yep,
That sounds like she'd be the best choice.
yes, that would be my recommendation.
I like the recommendation. If we have somebody that can clean it up real quick,
Yeah.
and if the
And
discussion with
probably
Mary,
cheaper than a firm.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
One person's usually cheaper than $100 an hour. Probably not, but if you're getting their full attention,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like, there's no other clients, so we're the only client.
So
And
that-
then
we need a
also,
motion for that.
do you want separate motions, or do you want to
Well, I would
reach out to
say,
Mary as well?
yeah, I would say to do a motion, if you guys are good with motion for accepting the proposal from Marcia that you guys have, for $100 an hour as she proposed, with her breakdown, and then I guess I would just ask, or someone else can take on the responsibility, it's fine with me, authority to go back to Mary and see if that's something she could be interested in.
I like that motion, so moved. And Heather's doing it.
Second,
Control bold.
twice.
Not it. Okay.
Okay, to accept proposal by Marcia Bohink for professional accounting services
At $100 an hour.
at $100 per hour. And to,
Do you think there is a
Authorize.
possibility Mary would do that?
I think there's a possibility, and to
Let's find out.
authorize Heather to reach out
I mean, she
to
wanted help, so-
Mary.
Wow. This would be part-time remote.
Yeah.
All right, Leanne, Mary's last name.
LaRoe.
Thank you. LaRue. I couldn't, I had the L, that was it.
Leroux, something like
It's
that.
French.
She will always live in my phone as Mary from Barry.
To Mary LaRue about potentially surveying the accounting capacity. Okay, and that was made by Katie,
Yes.
seconded by Peter?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
not Jeff.
Did we vote on that, sir?
Chair cannot make the motion or second.
I know, that's why I said,
All right,
not
so-
Jeff. That's why I said
Did
it.
we vote on that?
did not.
A motion made and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, so then the next piece is kind of,
Where are you on your
I'm on
agenda?
D3/E.
Options?
Yeah, keep going, next page. There you go.
Okay.
Discussion, yeah,
number
they
three,
kind of
okay.
merge together. So I put this out here. So one of the things I had talked even to Marcia about is when we've done a bunch of the exit interviews, Peter and I have come across this a couple times, there seems to be a strong need for someone to be on site to handle accounting questions, right? And not necessarily complex accounting questions. Was this paid? How much was that? What account number do I need to use? Can you print out a report? Whatever it may be. So one of the things I was thinking was the potential, especially where we haven't started the interview process for the executive assistant position, of adding the additional responsibility of bill warrant entry on Vadar. So Vadar is the software platform we use. By having someone do the bill entry, it removes the hours that are needed by someone serving in the accounting position, where they can just review what's there instead of having to do the data entry part of it, which saves a little bit of time. It also, we're having the task done, but we're paying a lower rate for the task as opposed to a, fully.
So you're looking more for a bookkeeper?
No, but I'm not looking for a separate bookkeeper. I'm looking to add a payables clerk duties to the existing executive assistant job description.
Right.
Right? Because we haven't done that position yet. I did talk to Tricia today because I was curious as to how many hours she currently works, and if she feels, usually like all of the duties there, with the exception of the past couple of months, she could only get done in that 26 hours. And she said she usually could. So the position is currently posted, when Nate posted it, he posted it for 32 hours. Right? So that's still 4 more hours than currently the 26. So that, in my mind at least, without knowing, I can't imagine we have that many bills for the size we are. Theoretically speaking, that should give someone the ability to be able to keep up with the bill warrant entry.
Doesn't she do them now? Because I
She
always see
does-
her paying bills.
She does her bill, she does her cover sheet with all of her bill submittals for most of the accounts in town.
Yeah.
But she doesn't enter them into Vadar.
Oh, okay.
Right? So once someone takes over that responsibility, they have to be flawless,
Yeah.
because it's not gonna be helpful to someone else doing the books if
Right.
3883 gets transposed,
Yeah.
right? So that's an important skill to have. And then otherwise, just having someone to be able to have the basic answers. They don't have to necessarily know accounting. They just have to be able to do data entry and be able to pick up and understand how the chart of accounts work and be able to find information for people. And then I think that will also help our staff, who seem to have a lot of those questions and the need, and
To
they
have
can't
somebody
find someone because they're not on
in-house.
site.
Yeah,
And this person, if they're there 32 hours a week, that's the bulk of when we're open.
sure.
So that gives people the ability to go to them.
How would this, if at all, screw up what we posted?
I don't think it actually does. So I took the job description that's currently there.
Okay.
You can see I totally went old school because you see red pen as my
Which page are
edits.
you on?
So I had
Oh, never mind.
I had a couple recommendations for some of the pieces in here to modify. But my suggestion would be, if the board was amenable to it, was that if we accepted the revisions in the job description or any other, then we send it out to the people who have already applied, which is about, I think, four to six. I don't remember exactly how many I saw. And just say, hey, we just, at this meeting, we updated the job description, just so you know, or you're still interested. And then I think we
The
already.
additional skill that you're mentioning that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I think we just asked people, or rather, it goes back, I think we already set up our interview process, didn't we, for the executive assistant?
Yes.
So then we just get that one rolling. The assistant treasurer collector position, unless they're missing, and I've searched everywhere, high and low, I think we only have 2 applicants. So there's two, maybe 3 applicants.
For which one?
The assistant treasurer collector.
Okay, Sarah.
Oh, 2 maybe. Okay.
So I believe, Peter, you guys are doing interviews for that tomorrow,
11
round
and
1.
2, yep.
So
11 and 2:30, yep.
round 1's tomorrow,
Yeah.
which leaves us the possibility, if any candidates come out of that well, round 2 could theoretically be on Monday,
Yeah.
and we could be appointing Monday night,
Oh, that'd be nice.
right? So I think we're trying very carefully to think about how we're doing these and be time efficient with them, so we're
Yeah.
not spending any time. But again, so here's my proposed changes, totally up to everyone what they think. So on the first paragraph, before the last sentence, Utilizes and enters bill warrants for all departments for the accountant to process. It's right before it performs other related work is required.
Yeah.
Supervision given, I just deleted that. It used to say directs and supports the town custodian, but now I believe he reports to the DPW director.
Yes.
DPW.
So I took that, struck that out. Which actually I think balances the authority of the position and puts it at the same rank. And you take a point here and add a point there. All right, the next page, I just added the word, so top paragraph, third line down in the center right before legal matters, just added personnel information because it wasn't included and they have access to personnel files.
Okay.
So we should probably include that.
Yep.
Essential functions, first one, I just changed it, said records and transcribes. I took the liberty to change it to responsible for creating meeting minutes. I
Okay.
don't want someone to think they have to transcribe the minutes. We
No.
prefer them not to transcribe the minutes.
Yeah.
Second one, after maintains agendas and posts in consultation with the town administrator. And then provide document packet to the select board of each, and create public viewing packet available in advance and manage virtual meeting links. So I did check with Tricia today. She said she was already doing those things. I just thought it was good to add, so
Yeah.
it's very clear.
Yeah.
The next page maintains personnel files, non-benefit related. So any of the benefits get maintained in the treasurer collector's office. So
Yeah.
health insurance,
Yep.
retirement there. And then I deleted the assist in the management of employee accruals. I think that should just be payroll.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's old in there. So.
Okay.
Next page, top, assist DPW with facility management of town buildings, including working directly with tenants at 48 Gardner Road.
I'm missing a page.
Well, I'm sorry, I probably have two in someone else's.
That's okay.
It wasn't that exciting.
Yep, don't worry.
Okay, and then
I'll
right
share with
before
Peter.
recommended minimum qualifications, enters bill warrants into Vadar for accounting office, and answers basic account number and balance questions.
Okay.
So those are my proposed changes. I did not read through the education experience. The only other thing I note, so I went back and I looked at the budget numbers, what Nate had currently budgeted for the position, what we've actually paid for the position so far, and the numbers.
We found my page in Peter's.
Oh, good. You know, my new printer doesn't collate. Like, I haven't found the
You're
button
not
on
a very
it.
good secretary, ma'am.
No, I'm not, apparently.
We're gonna have to give you a paper stipend.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, just.
so anyway, I was looking at the financial piece on this one, right? So I looked at the total number we budgeted at the beginning of the year, and then Tricia's rate at even 26 hours and the, what do you call it, her current pay, 23.38, and there doesn't seem to be enough in that line. The proposed one was 35 hours at $22 an hour. And again, that doesn't seem to calculate out. So we're gonna have to add money to that line anyway. The question becomes, and we can always just put it negotiable if we want to change it instead of just saying what's there, but right now we have it at $22 an hour. So $22 an hour is less than we're currently paying that position. It's also less than I think even the assistant treasurer collector position, right? But they're doing, you know, high level stuff,
And you're
similar
adding in, you're
stuff.
adding in.
And we're adding in the accounting stuff, right? I think it should probably be on par with that position.
Yeah.
But what we could just say is, you know, we posted for $22. I don't know if anyone else knew was gonna apply if you amend the job description. But when we do the interviews, I think we just say it's, you know, negotiable and try to figure it out, because if we start too low, A, we're not gonna get people to do the job, and B, we're not gonna keep them.
Yeah.
Well, they're not even gonna apply.
Or they're not even gonna apply.
Right.
But I think people have already applied, so.
Yeah.
So when the account line runs out of money,
So before the account line runs out of money, like when we go to actually appoint someone to that position,
Yeah.
we're gonna wanna do a calculation of what we think we actually need to add to the line.
Yeah.
We're gonna wanna do a reserve fund transfer through the
Okay.
finance committee.
All right.
Simultaneously.
okay.
But I don't have great figures in front of me to
Until-
give exact numbers, and
Yeah.
I
Until
was
those are fixed.
estimating based on higher calculations in certain lines as to where we would be at the end of the year, especially, like I said, Tricia's been running highly over.
Yeah.
So remember, at the beginning of the year, she was at 52 hours, which is about par for 26 a week.
Yeah.
And now she's been at 79 for the past couple cycles.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this past cycle is going to be, or this next cycle, so
The stipend bonus, does that come out of our line too?
oh, okay.
Well, I'm asking.
No, I don't think so, I don't
No, okay.
know.
Where would this?
Oh, the stipend balance, we could take it out of that line, or what we'd probably do is take it out of the town administrator line.
Okay.
Because it's essentially
This is
coming
town
from that
administrator.
function.
Got it.
Because we do general government bottom budgeting, the money's pretty fluid with those moves.
Okay.
We would just do an account transfer, or we would just pay directly out of that line when we do that 250 stipend. And then again, even that, we'll have to look at reserve fund transfer.
Okay.
We do know with Nate leaving, we do owe him paid vacation time, like any employee, so
Yep.
we're gonna have to calculate that and probably have to go to reserve fund for a portion of that as well.
Okay.
So,
What's that? Is that 30, 23
23, I think it was 23
23
hours.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't discuss it, so.
so we can calculate out those numbers too. Okay. So what do you guys think?
I like
You guys, do you like the idea of putting that responsibility in the EA? Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's okay?
Well, I think if it's gonna be cheaper than paying the accountant, and that's part of the problem with the accountant not being here, and
We don't have enough work for them, that's why.
yeah, exactly, and if it takes a load off, and yeah, I think it's a win-win if we can find somebody to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't,
It's just data entry anyways, right?
Mostly, I mean, someone's gonna have to understand how to read the chart of accounts and figure out
Right,
numbers and be
right.
able to find data in the system.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't think it's gonna end up being super complicated, but I think it helps the taxpayer too, because it gives,
It takes a load off of them.
well, no, I mean, the nice thing is you're paying less for the service, right? So you're still getting the service you need to have the accounting function, but you're not paying the higher rate of a full-time accountant to do it.
Right.
And it definitely helps the employees because it gives them a resource on site. When we talked to the treasurer collector's office, we heard it all around that they were essentially the de facto accounting office
Yep.
because anyone who had questions came to them with accounting.
Right.
Yeah.
So it also
So-
relieves stress off that department.
It's not a function that you need the skill set of a public accountant to do. So it's
Correct.
something we can shift to someone who may not have that skill set, but is surely fully capable of doing it.
Yes, and they have to have attention to detail.
Fully capable of doing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So you're gonna incorporate that into the job description, correct?
If you allow me to make a motion to
Yep.
such, okay, hold on. Hold on.
good stuff. Let her write it first. So it's easier that way.
Amend executive assistant job description as proposed, which also incorporates the functionality of account payables entry.
Is that a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to amend
I just said so
executive
moved.
assistant job description as proposed, which also incorporates the functionality of account payables entry.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. That takes care of that. Item 4, correct?
Yes.
So moving on down, building commissioner updates, applications, etc., and so forth.
Yes, so we have received a few applications actually, which is always exciting.
More interviews.
Yeah.
Yay.
Glad you see where this is going, Peter. All right, let me just pull my file here on building commissioner.
And
One,
who was doing those
two.
interviews? Or did we hold off on figuring that out?
What's that? We haven't done this one yet,
Okay.
nope. Let's see.
Well, Duffy is still,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have about, I'll say, guessing here, we have about 2 to 3 so far that have come in of applications. So we did not set up a process for these folks like we did for the other positions so far. Do we want to set up a process?
I say we should set up a process, seeing that we have 3 applications. Let's get this rolling.
Okay, so I think what we've done in the last 2 is we have 2 rounds of interviews. We do the first round with Peter and a person. Usually it's, or subject matter expert, so maybe Leanne and Duffy, if Duffy's available. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Is Duffy available?
I don't know if he's been cleared to drive yet.
You do a virtual
but
if you
he
need,
can Probably, I think virtually,
if you would do it.
I think he would.
I'm fine with it, as long as he,
Okay.
I don't want to put him out, because he
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
had surgery.
Yep.
We don't need to ask miracles.
And then round 2, who wants to do round 2?
Well, those of us, we were supposed to do it, right?
Yeah, it was either, well. I
One of
think
you.
We had one of us, so
Can't
it
do
was,
both
I think
this
it was
year.
me for the other ones. And then, so that way, if there was a problem,
And then who was the other person?
I
You,
had Mel with
Okay.
me on all of them.
Okay.
But
Jeff,
that's-
did you want to do
If
round
you'd
2? or
rather
you wanna
do round 2,
Or do you
feel
want
free.
Katie to do round 2?
Would you want the interim town,
The temporary?
the temporary administrator in on that?
She only works 26 hours a week. I don't know if we
Yeah,
want to.
we'll handle it.
Okay.
So,
I think
you
not
can
adding
be first
more
choice, and
people.
if you have to work, then you can call me. It's
Did you want to do
vice
round
versa.
2, Jeff, or do you want
Yeah.
Katie to do round 2?
You can do it,
Okay.
Okay.
Katie Mel.
Me and Mel.
only because I don't know what my work schedule can be.
Yeah, and that's
Did we
fine.
Did we do it as a motion last time or no? Do you
I
remember?
believe we did.
Okay.
I believe we did.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to set, I would like, no, try again. I'd like to make a motion to set up building commissioner interviews, round 1 being Leanne, Peter, and Duffy, and round 2, the interviews are with Katie and Mel, and then the finals come back, recommendation comes back to the board.
Mm-hmm. Motion made,
Second.
second. Any discussion? And all in favor?
Aye.
Yes,
Yes.
opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and
Assistant
then,
treasurer.
yeah, so I already did this one, but just in case people are actually following along in order. So we had we'll say 3 applicants. The reason it's that iffy to the third, we did have a person who originally applied for the treasurer collector position, so we did reach out to them to see if they were interested in the assistant. I hadn't heard directly back from them, but I think Sarah reached out to them again
She did.
to see if they would be interested. So we have potentially 3 applicants for the treasurer, assistant treasurer collector position. The interviews are tomorrow, round 1. I'm hopeful that if things
That's
go
you,
well,
Peter?
that's
What
with
you're
Peter, yeah.
Okay.
And if that's successful, then hopefully round 2 maybe can be as soon as Monday. And then we could potentially have a recommendation before the board Monday night.
Okay. All right,
Christmas miracle. No.
we have no,
Elmo's Christmas countdown. That's what he shouts every time they find a box.
okay, we have no policies to review. Close any matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair.
Yes. I
Go
have
ahead.
one. So it's the COA, they're concerned about their money,
Yep.
where it's at. They don't know where it's at. Nobody can give them an answer. They have 2 accounts, and I'm worried. So,
That's.
That's a Marcia question.
Yeah,
in 2 weeks.
I've already had this conversation with Claudia.
okay,
I told her that until we can get it straightened out,
yeah,
we don't have 100% answers, and that
yeah.
there's nothing we can do until we get 100%.
Okay, I just wanted.
I was hopeful that it would have been
I
straightened
just
out
wanted
by
to make the
now.
board aware that, they reached out and very concerned.
Mhm.
Since they've had money disappear one time before, I thought. So,
Mhm.
We do have, you remember I did the brief little survey to everybody last meeting. It feels like months ago, but I think
Yes.
it was last meeting.
Yes.
Or something like that.
It was a week ago.
Yeah, sure.
One of the
And we did
meetings,
get quite a
anyway.
few responses from folks, so there were a couple things, one thing I think on this agenda came out of that, something else we're watching on it, and then I will try to, it's not gonna be for the 29th, but hopefully early January, consolidate everyone's concerns
Okay.
so that we have them.
All right, anything else not anticipated by the chair?
So, I mean, the reason I bring this up, well, I just want to finish, is if they needed money to do something with their money, they can't do it right now. That's where I'm headed with that. So if they needed to,
What is Claudia saying she needs it for? Or is she?
she just wanted to know where it is, because she said she can't, she wanted to, let's say she wanted to buy paint something, she couldn't do it.
Peter,
we put
we want to
that-
hire an accountant. I don't know how much
Right.
money's in that line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it, that's all I need to hear.
No, but we also, in the last meeting,
Said
we
no.
put a freeze on unnecessary,
Yeah, which that did go out in that email.
while we're trying to solve our problems,
I understand.
no unnecessary type thing. So, I mean, if it's a
Non-essential.
can of paint,
Yeah.
that can wait.
I'm just, it's money they raised, so.
Well, some of it, yes.
Yeah.
Depends on the line item.
Right.
But yeah, some of it
All
is,
right, I'm sure it's there, it's just, we got
Mhm.
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
It's-
they're from the era of when we did have a tax collector that screwed everything up,
Yeah.
like, not good.
All right,
So
I
that's why.
passed it on, that's all I
Yes.
needed to do.
Okay? Anything else?
Yes.
Go.
So one thing I'd like to bring up is just, I think we're at the point we may want to consider doing a press release. We have a lot of things going on in town, you know, we talked, you know, we have a transition with our town administrator going on. We have a bunch of positions that we've had folks come to the meetings to ask about what's going on and, you know, what we're doing with filling them and everything else. We also, because we don't have everything updated in the room yet, we're posting our meetings, you know, a couple days after we've had them, so people aren't getting the live information they used to be able to get. So even by the time someone watches this video, it could be a couple days, and the information,
Christmas
well,
viewing, it's great Christmas viewing.
Great Christmas June, whatever it may be, but I think we just want to make sure people have the information and to try to get ahead of press questions and everything else. I think it might be a great idea if we had something drafted just for folks to have the information.
And also correct the fact that she's not the,
Yeah, whatever.
Well, that's that old news
Yeah.
now,
I
Jeff.
read my name there, they said I was the assistant.
Your assistant, yeah. Don't
Like,
worry, just like whatever.
Not me.
You didn't know you got promotion.
Oh, well, it was.
Okay. So,
Stipend would be nice.
yep.
would you guys be okay if I worked with the chair to draft said press release?
Mhm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, can I make a motion to authorize Heather with Chairman Williams to draft and release?
And release, yeah.
And release
Yep.
a press release pertaining to, we'll just say, personnel updates?
Current events.
Current events, that goes.
Current events. So moved. Or was that a
Second.
motion?
Motion made and seconded. Any questions on this discussion?
Negative.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Anything else not anticipated by the chair?
No, just let folks know, so we will be canceling the meeting we have scheduled for
For
tomorrow
tomorrow.
night.
Yep.
And what does the board want on the agenda for next week? Just because we're gonna have to get this into Mel tomorrow because of all the
God.
holiday things.
Hopefully,
It's
a whole
fine.
bunch of,
I have
So,
no
remember,
idea.
we
I
just-
have no idea.
We just have to have a base one and then we can always amend
So-
it on Monday morning.
So we're probably gonna be looking to hire
So interim interviews, potentially.
interim interviews, yeah.
We have to deal with the temporary TA and how long Tricia's staying,
yep.
Yeah,
because otherwise she lapses on the 31st.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have that, we have, you said interim TA interviews maybe.
Maybe.
We might have an executive session with the interim TA or
Yeah.
strategy to offer them
Yeah.
something if we get that far.
Possibly. And we
Okay.
might possibly have some
Appointments?
of, for Sarah's position, right?
Okay.
If we can get through,
Update/appointment.
they're available Monday.
Second interviews will be Monday.
Yeah, if we can get through a second interview on Monday, if
Yeah.
everyone,
And then
that's,
they're probably gonna
qualifies.
need a week.
And then we have to follow up on the
Well,
accountant
they-
position.
yeah, but to
Week
be
or
able to
two.
offer them, because we have to agree to offer them a job, so it has to come in front of us.
Right.
Whereas before, we had a town administrator that could
Yeah.
offer.
So
them
Monday
the job.
night, we're gonna have to make that decision.
Yes,
As long as the second
as long as we can
interview's
get the
done on
second
Monday.
interview, yes, correct.
Okay, so then we have to update appointments, assistant treasurer collector, accountant, position updates, and tax updates. That's what I got for random stuff.
Yeah.
And I-
Stuffing party, what day is the stuffing party?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Hopefully by then. No, we'll see. All right,
Yeah, I'll help with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will gladly help.
What the hell?
Yep.
They already know.
I'm here 4 days a week anyways.
so if that works, Mr. Chairman, I'll draft this up for you tomorrow, send it to you and Katie like I normally do for the draft, and then we'll get it to Mel first thing, and we can always amend it on Monday. But
Okay.
at least we'll get it out there.
Get it in the,
All
yeah.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then, so just to follow up, because we're gonna be taking our own steps tonight, so let's just make sure we're not missing anything. So we need to follow up with Tricia and probably Mel to get the website updated to post for the interim town administrator, get it on the MMA's website
Yep.
Follow up with Mary also.
for the, and follow up with Mary. Is there any other action items that were, I mean, otherwise I'll send a draft of this to Tricia to work on.
What about follow-up with,
Let me just write follow-ups at the bottom, I'll just
Okay.
capture these.
to all of them, with the accountant, to make sure she's, or,
Till
Marcia?
Tricia.
yes,
Okay, so interim
something, it was an
TA,
M.
post on website and MMA.
It's a margarita
Mel
time.
It is now.
Margarita time.
Okay, ask Mary if ACT interested, and that would be
And-
me. Okay, then we have updated job description to EA applicants.
Yep.
We can ask Tricia to send those out, I think. Okay, and then set up interviews. Okay, and then Leanne, would you reach out to Duffy and work with Peter and see if you guys can set up interviews, and I'll send you the applicants?
Yes.
I'm sure I'll be in to see you. I'll see everybody.
there.
Okay, building commissioner,
I'll
what
be
else do we
tomorrow.
have here? Agenda for next week. I just don't wanna miss anything. What's my last name? There we go, wrong one, okay. Agenda for next week, Leanne, what else do we have? Updated job description, EA, ask Mary Accountant, confirm with Marcia,
Yes, thank you.
or Marcia is a go. Okay, anything else?
That's what she's gonna be in the phone.
We-
This is-
Have
Marcia,
Tricia-
Marcia,
Have
Marcia.
Tricia let me know about whatever it was I was supposed to sign.
It was on the desk too, I asked if she wanted me to take it.
So
And she's like, nope, I'm gonna put everything on the
she
table.
can call me
I was like,
tomorrow. I
okay.
mean,
She
but-
wants you to sign the document that authorizes Liz to be on the payroll, on the.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
base.
it wasn't here, or it isn't here, so I
Okay.
couldn't do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
all right, is there
But-
any, I'm just making sure there's nothing else, and then notify, what's her name? Mel, that, who are you, Peter is on CMRCC rep. Any other actions? Did I miss anything?
I think that's it, after Peter's done with his interviews tomorrow.
That's it.
any
Wonderful, okay,
Okay.
fantastic.
press, public comment?
So we
Okay.
can set up on Monday.
So,
All right, before we adjourn, on behalf of the Select Board of Hubbardston, to everyone out there and to all of our staff and town people, I wish everyone and their families a happy holiday, and thank you all for your work. Thank you. Enjoy your break. Thank you. Happy holidays. Do
Merry
you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Next meeting is Monday, the 29th.